Captain Peter Kutze, South Korea, and this is my briefing room. Welcome to part 3 of the go-around briefing. Today we're going to have a look at the AFDS notes. A few important things I have learned, and I wanted to share them with you. The toga mode, the purpose of the toga mode is to set takeoff or the go-around mode for these systems, the auto throttle system, the stall management yaw damper system, and the digital flight control system. Climb rate. During a go-around, the autopilot, if engaged, disengages. This is a single autopilot engagement. And the flight director goes to 15 degrees nose-up command. From the initial 15 degrees nose-up command, the flight director goes to a speed or attitude command as a function of the climb rate. If the climb rate is less than 300 feet per minute, the pitch command holds the pitch attitude. If the climb rate is between 300 feet per minute and 1,200 feet per minute, the pitch command holds a mixture of both climb rate, or I should say pitch, and airspeed. So a combination of pitch attitude and airspeed. Now, if the climb rate is greater than 1,200 feet per minute, the pitch command holds the target airspeed. And it makes sense, really, when you think of the logic. If your rate is high, then the speed is good. The target airspeed is a function of the actual trailing edge flap's position based on the maximum takeoff weight. That provision reduces the pilot's workload during the go-around since the speed command is not set via the MCP, speed window blanks. The speed command for any aircraft weight follows a fixed speed schedule for 80,000 kilos. We're talking about the NG here. So Boeing have rounded the figure up to 80,000 from 79,015 for that series of NG. And I think that's the heaviest. So the VREF 40 is 154 knots for the 737 NG. These speeds provide an extra margin from the stall speed while keeping adequate margin from the flap limit speeds. So these are the speeds. So flaps up speed command is 224 knots. Flaps 1, 204. Flaps 5, 184. Flaps 15, 174. Flaps 25, 164. And the flaps 30-40 speed command is 155 knots. That is VREF 40 plus 1. This is for the NG. So you will find, I think, that the max at higher weights will be somewhere in the neighborhood, that is VREF 40 will be somewhere in the neighborhood of 169 plus 1 of 170. I stand to be corrected on that. I don't have your max manuals. All right. These speeds provide an extra margin from the stall speed while keeping an adequate margin from the flaps limit speed, as we discussed already. Now we're going to talk about single engine target speeds. If an engine failure occurs during go-around, or I should say prior to the go-around, the target speed remains the MCP target speed. That is, the MCP speed window does not blank. If the engine failure occurs after go-around engagement, the target speed depends on whether 10 seconds have elapsed since go-around engagement. Prior to 10 seconds, the MCP approach becomes the target speed. That's anywhere from the engagement and 10 seconds. If after 10 seconds, the airspeed at engine failure is within 5 knots, and the airspeed is within 5 knots of the go-around engagement speed, then the airspeed that existed at go-around engagement becomes the target speed. That's after 10 seconds. Now, if after 10 seconds and the airspeed is more than 5 knots above the go-around engagement speed, then the current speed becomes the target speed. So that was for a single engine. Now we're going back, excuse me, to two engines operating. Engaging in an autopilot while in TOGA mode. So if you engage an autopilot while in TOGA, TOGA disengages. The autopilot and flight director revert to level change, MCP, speed is the pitch mode. Current airspeed becomes the target. The roll mode stays in LNAV if you were in LNAV, and if LNAV is not the flight director roll mode, then the roll mode goes to heading cell, heading select. The auto throttle, if engaged, engages automatically in the N1 mode. We're talking about two engines now on the go-around. If the go-around mode, I should say in the go-around mode, the auto throttle, if engaged, uses an internally calculated thrust value to achieve an 8% climb gradient. That's where we get the 1,000 to 2,000 feet per minute. Normally, this will be less than the full rated go-around thrust. For maximum thrust go-around, the auto throttle uses FMC N1 targets. Pressing TOGA a second time, the auto throttle commands the maximum thrust go-around. These are interesting notes. That ends part 3 of go-around. See you in part 4.